Hi, everybody. This is our erstwhile live stream, which had lots and lots of problems on YouTube, having problems getting our things together. So I'm Alex Flagg, the disembodied head of Crafty Games here. I am making donuts today. I've been making this dough for a little bit, so it may be overproofed, so that'll make our experience interesting. So, the whole point of a Nailed It challenge is to be messy, and my God, is this going to be messy. So anyway, we are making, well, the plan was to make 3 types of donuts today. I had planned to make a suggestion of Michelle from Texas. I was going to be making a pineapple drop donut, which if you've ever been to the state fair and gotten those donuts that come in a paper bag, that was what I was going to try making. But now my dough is in danger of overproofing, and so I'm gonna, instead of making those, I'm just gonna punch out some donut holes and use that for that part of the recipe. And then other requests from our friends were to make a chicken and waffles donut, which should be interesting. Actually, probably the easiest one. And then the most technically challenging, which is the s'mores donut. And that one, I don't know, today's been a little bit frustrating with all our technical difficulties, so I may not be doing quite what I thought. So it'll be an adventure. So right now I am taking out these little puffy balls of dough, this scrap, and making donut hole balls. I think I'm only going to make one dough today. I can still sort of adjust, but we'll be able to do something fun with it anyway. So stamp these little guys up like so. They're already kind of risen, so I'm going to just let them rise a little bit more, relax, and then we'll toss them in. And we'll see how chewy they end up being. I'll try experimenting, making just a couple little ball-shaped balls, and see if that's a terrible idea. I don't think you want donut holes to be too thick because they're going to be doughy in the middle. So, but yeah, our 3 donuts today. The first one is we did I did something a little bit silly with Michelle's. So not doing the pineapple drop donuts, which I really had wanted to do because that's the very first donut I learned to make. But we're going to do the next best thing by making donut holes with cinnamon sugar, and we're going to dip them in a chamoy, or chimay, which is a kind of a Mexican savory jam. The one I made today, I actually used mango instead of apricot, some lime juice, some lime zest, brown sugar, and 2 ancho chilies. So that gives it kind of a smoky, earthy flavor. So this stuff ends up coming out like this kind of like jam. It looks really dark, but that's because the fruit and the sugars have been all cooked down. So it looks like that. So it looks quite a bit like almost like a chocolate sauce, but it is a savory, smoky. It's delicious. So I think it'll be excellent on some donut holes. So we're going to experiment and see how hot our oil is. So turn the camera here. Get this little fryer. This is a little gift I got from my wife. I did not expect to be, at Christmas, I did not quite expect to be using it today, but it's perfect for our planned donut adventures. Okay, so I'm gonna roll these little balls out here. Got a basket, and let's just test this little gooby guy here and see how hot that is. All right, and if you've never watched Donuts cooking, the little fry basket here, so it's just frying, bubbling away. I can move this. You can see a little bit of the donut magic going on there. And I'm going to see how doughy these guys end up being, so the oil's not hot enough, or the dough's not fully proofed. They'll just end up being kind of, you know, doughy balls. Okay. Oh yeah, they're a little malformed, but toasting well. Okay, that's gonna cook really fast. I'm gonna grab some sugar, some cinnamon. Take this and just dump a little bit in here. Never have too much sugar. And some cinnamon. Oh yeah. Okay, just take a little cinnamon, sugar, super easy. See, I'm very scientific in my measuring. There we go. Smells good. Okay. This little donut's looking nicely toasted. So shake that out a little bit. And we're gonna pop this guy out so you can see there a little donut hole. I managed not to burn myself, which in itself is a miracle. So there you go. It's that little guy. All right, I'm gonna put him on the rack. Let him cool off a bit. Drop my scrap there. Put that back. And get that basket ready for the next batch. All righty. So this time, go ahead and I'm pretty happy with that experiment, I think. Well, actually, before I say I'm happy with that experiment, let's try this guy out. So pop him open. Oh yeah, it's going to interior a little bit like a biscuit. So, oh yeah, a little more doughy than I expected. So I either need to let those cook a little bit longer, or maybe let them rise a little bit and come together. So that, yeah, see, it's a little bit raw in there. So it's a good way to get yourself some salmonella. So woohoo! Let's try it again. Nailed it. Okay, in the meantime, I've got my other, you see that I've laid out these guys, I punched some holes in them, and I've been letting these rise. These are the very first ones I did, and they're starting to get a little puffy. Not quite. So I'm gonna go ahead and let them sit. And then I also, on this red sheet here, for the donut and waffle, or for the chicken and waffle donut, I've decided to go ahead and try a different shape. I think these will fit in the basket. Yeah, they'll fit in the basket. They're probably a little bit long. I'm gonna chop those off. Turn those into little rectangular donut holes because, hey, it's Portland. Got to be weird about our donuts. Okay. So, yeah. And on top of it, since I'm not making my second dough for the donut holes, I'm not going to be able to do the s'mores donuts the way I initially thought I would, which was to make them and fill them with a pipette and stuff. So we're going to go ahead and do my backup plan. So these guys I'll probably use for the s'mores donuts. I will use the donut holes over here to do the cinnamon sugar. And then the final will be with these bars, be little maple bars for chicken and waffle. So the last thing with chicken and waffle that I forgot is I don't actually have any chicken yet. So I'm going to go ahead and cook that up. So I'm just doing a little like basic chicken here, like a boneless, skinless thigh. I'm going to cook that up, and then I will take about, I don't know, 5 to 8 minutes. And then I will use that for the chicken waffle. Okay, that'll warm back up. All right. So yeah, it's interesting trying to cook a bunch of different donuts at once. I am not a prep cook or anything like that. I'm not really much of a cook at all. That's what makes it so fun. But yeah, it'll be interesting trying to. It was interesting to try to do all the prep work to make these. I had to, these donuts have to rise like you would with bread. They you had to like have a rise time, then a cut, a relax time, and all the other stuff. So it can take a couple hours to make donuts. So we think you can all appreciate the work that somebody who's really actually good at making donuts has to put into making those donuts. Yeah. So, but like the timing and the sifting and there's a real artistry to it that I appreciate now a lot more. So I'm really impatient to get these things started, though. So one thing you definitely want with a donut is the right temperature oil, which is about 350. Putting stuff in there will cool it down. So this little guy is a candy thermometer, single best piece of kitchen equipment I've ever had. Use it all the time. It's a little cold. Let me turn it up a hair. There you go. It's a 375. That might help with the flash cook on things. Okay. So yeah, if you're gonna make donuts at home, you do not have to have this is a little deep fryer I think I got for $10 new at my local Kroger. But these things are, you can do donuts in a shallow fry if you ever want to make them like on, just make a small batch of donuts or whatever else. You can kind of just put some oil in a pan, get it up to about 350, and then let it slowly come up, and then you kind of dip the donut in there, cook one side, flip it over, cook the other side until it browns. And if you get the interior temperature at about 150, if you have one of these little guys here, these instant rate thermometers, sometimes they're called like a candy thermometer, but they have these things are great because they can take a temperature super fast. So you can just poke meat or poke a donut. I've used this on bread when I cook bread. They actually work a treat. So definitely worth a shot. But yeah, if they get to about 140 inside, they've cooked all the way through, and then you can pop them off and then put your goodies on top. All right, I'm gonna check on that chicken. I'm gonna get that nice and browned. All I did was just put some salt and pepper on it because I figured, well, who doesn't want a savory and sweet on their donut at the same time? So then when that is close to done and we have cooked our bars, we'll cook our bars first and let them cool down a little bit. And then we'll make a maple glaze, and then we'll add our shredded chicken on top. So yeah, now let's hurry up and wait. Okay. Okay, so you see, donuts are getting a little poke. Yeah, I think these guys might be. We're gonna try a ring donut, see what happens. This is about experimentation, right? So I take this kind of little gooby guy, throw him in the basket, throw him in my basket here, and then in he goes into the oil. And he's bubbling and floating, that's a good sign. Hang on, I'm looking at it. All right, there we go. So we got our new, we get donut cam here. All right, there you go. And get a little safety switch on this thing so it doesn't burn or blow up on you. Okay, you see our donuts cooking away in there. Spinning around, I'll get something to flip them with. And it's starting to puff up. Flip them over. Whoop! There we go. Oh, look at that. Oh, damn, I've never deep fried a donut before, so that makes this really interesting. Maybe a little too hot. Turn that down. Touch. We don't incinerate the donuts for obvious reasons, but I'm sure some of that will happen today. Yeah, keep a look on it. Ah, that's good. Okay. Keep that. Let's get a nice color to it. That chicken to go. All right. There we go. That's looking good. So, in preparing for this Kickstarter campaign, I learned some interesting facts. One of which was how the donut hole was invented, how donuts got their hole. So, you know, this is apparently donuts were a little Dutch invention. So here we go. We have a holed donut. We'll let them dry out over there, drip dry a little bit on a rack, and see how it turns out. So yeah, the donuts got their hole because these were things called oily cakes or oila cakes, and they came over from Holland, apparently. And anyway, they were popular treats. And there was a ship captain, sometime in the 1860s, I believe, and his mom used to send him donuts, but the middles were always raw. You know, couldn't get the heat high enough, right? So he had the idea, like, well, why not punch out the middle, and then you get the even cook on the inside and the outside. So there's your useless fact for the day. Okay, looks like our chicken is about done. I'm gonna go ahead and do a quick temperature test on it. Perfect, ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and let that chicken cool off a bit, and then I'll slice it up, and we will be close to chicken and waffle time. So I'm gonna go ahead and try first of our bars. So we can take this fella, drop him in the basket, and in he goes. Now, this will be interesting because these are solid. They do not have a hole. And so we'll see how they come up. Oh, so I tried my donut here. I don't know if you can see. It actually cooked. It cooked all the way through. I can't believe it. So this is a plain donut. Still quite good. But this thing is ready to get some goodies on top. Excellent. Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. Now we're cooking with gas. Okay. So, got our first of our little maple bars here. This thing is pretty small. So it's going to take, like, we're going to have to do like one thing at a time. So I'll probably always have a donut going in here, and they'll be rotating out. I'll be able to throw a couple rings and a couple holes in there at a time, I think. But yeah, I'm stoked. Okay, so we'll cook a couple rings, and then I'll turn one of those into a s'mores donut. All right, so the plan for the s'mores donut, while these guys are ready to rise, it's pretty simple. We have a marshmallow fluff filling. I was going to pipette this in. So this is, butter and actually some good old fashioned American marshmallow whip and some cream cheese. Then we have a chocolate sauce, which has gotten a little thicker than I wanted, but we just put on some hot donuts and they'll thin out, or maybe I'll microwave it just to warm it up a bit. Hopefully it doesn't separate. And then we have graham crackers. So my plan was I'll probably take the donuts, I will dip them into the vanilla, and then I'll dip them into the chocolate, or I'll use a chocolate ribbon, and then I will crumble some graham crackers on while everything's still molten, and we will have a s'mores donut. I've never made any of these things before. I've never made donuts this way before. I've only made apple fritters, and those didn't turn out so great. So this will be fun. Okay, so smash these guys up into small bits. Not too small. You don't want dust. Just want people to know that they're having graham crackers in it on their donuts. Okay. Because otherwise, what's a s'more without graham crackers, right? Just break up some of those big chunks so they'll stick and go falling off. I don't want it to look like a voodoo donut. Okay, looks like this guy's about ready to come out. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. You also don't want your donuts to go on too long. It'll suck up that oil. All right, woo! Big boy. All right, so that'll be our chicken and wafflers. All right. So you can see Donut Cam 3000 is recording down here. So you can see that these guys are cooking, but the color's pretty good, and I think the oil's hot enough. You can see that nice golden brown. So it's about time for me to start making the sauce. All right, so I've got the graham crackers and set those aside. And then set that aside the cinnamon sugar for the Mexican style donuts. And then I will get out a cutting board and we'll slice that chicken. Alrighty. Slid back on, maybe it'll come to heat. Alrighty, so get a knife. Okay, so I think the trick with, I imagine, the trick with dressing up donuts all pretty is making sure that nothing of the pieces that you're putting on top are too big. Donuts is a local, Portland-based place. A lot of people have heard of it. It's they started out as actually a place to feed. Well, there's two concert venue owners that own that place. These guys didn't know. They ran a place called the X-Ray Cafe in the 90s, another place called Burbati's Pan. And, there were good venues in Portland, independent music scene, lots of good shows there used to go to. And they didn't have anything to feed people. The shows let out, 1 or 2 in the morning and everything would be closed. And there's a chicken diced up. So what they did is they decided to start making donuts. And they didn't know how to make donuts either. So they sort of got a recipe. And then they just had the genius idea to make a, just maybe start dipping them in stuff. So they started doing cereal, they started experimenting. They were not limited by any formal knowledge, let's say. So they started just making these crazy donuts. And so, there's, you know, their cereal donuts are very popular. So when I talk about small bits, like they are the opposite of that. They have the big, you know, pieces of Fruit Loops or whatever. It'll just be a glazed donut that's been dipped in Fruit Loops or Captain Crunch or whatever. You know, there's other ones like the Elvis that's a banana fritter with chocolate and peanut butter ribbon on it. That's quite good. Maybe it's called the King or the Memphis, but yeah, it's Memphis Mafia. That's what it's called. Yeah, so they have a lot of really interesting donuts and obviously a lot of good stuff on top. So that's a little bit of an inspiration for today too. It's a lot more chicken than I expected, but that's good. We have 3 donuts to cover, and so we'll have lots of chicken on our chicken and waffle. The other thing that we're going to have to do is make a glaze. So after I cook the donuts, I'm going to, so I get these cooked and they'll cool down a little bit on the rack. And then I'm going to go ahead and make the maple glaze that'll go on top. So this is a little bit looks like a savory maple bar with some chicken involved. All right, so this guy's bubbling away. Don't want to burn out. It's looking okay. It's puffed up nicely. And then I know my kids are dying to try out some of these guys. So it'll be fun to see what their reactions are to having a donut with chicken on top. My little one is definitely the carnivore, so he will probably like it quite a bit. They're both big Waffles fans. Oh, that's right. Crap. So for the last of the chicken and waffle donuts, I am going to try to give it a waffle pattern, because what's a nailed it challenge if you don't do something silly? So I'm going to take my knife here. I'm doing this kind of the way you do on bread. Just cut the top a little bit, and then rotate 90 degrees, and then give it a little crosshatch. So it'll look kind of waffly, I imagine. But I mean, you have to have, you know, waffle pattern. That's pretty good. Yeah, it's got the little pattern there. How are we doing? Almost. Okay. Okay. So I do apologize for our problems with the live stream. We were being conspired against by the entire universe, I believe. It was a series of unfortunate events, things that we could not predict. We're all kind of new to live streaming, and clearly we did not have things resolved. But beyond that, I tried this stream I don't know how many times and could not get it to fire up correctly. You know, at one time it didn't have any audio. So it's just, anyway, what a mess. But, you know, we're making do. This is about kitchen disasters and also technological disasters. So, all right, I'll try our crosshatch donut here and see if that changes anything. Okay, sweet. So second bar is done. And we're coming together here. All righty. Let me do that. I'm going to see what the problem is. What the heck is going on here? Alrighty. Okay. Alright, looks like that guy's puffing up okay. Okay, great. All right, it's coming along, coming along. Pop that guy out, great, awesome. Okay, sorry for looking at my big shaggy head. I have not had a haircut in I don't know how many months now. I don't know, time doesn't mean anything anymore anyway, does it? Okay, so that donut, you can see that texture popping up on our, see a little bit of our donut. There we go. There you go. See a little of our crosshatch on the top. Seems to be coming together okay, a lot like the way bread cooks. Give it a whirl. All right, back to station. All right, I'm gonna flip this bad boy. Doesn't burn. Yeah, lots of bubbles there. Expose that nice damp dough in the middle. Okay, good. Good. All right, so once that comes out, we're gonna go ahead and flip on over to do the sauce. So for this one, we need a small saucepan. And I cheated and brought my notes with me. Yes. Okay. So 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. So butter and maple syrup together. So the butter goes in first. I'm gonna get that started now. I will say the thing that I like even better than donuts in this town, and there are a lot of good donut places in Portland, is the waffle carts. They are a place called the Flavor Spot. They make these amazing waffles. They're like hand waffles, and they have this maple butter and then you put sausage in there. They just kind of douse everything in maple butter, and it's to die for. Oh, look at that! That's awesome! All right, check it out. Can you see our sweet waffle texture? That looks great. That's gonna be my cover girl. Okay, we're gonna let that oil come back up to heat while I get the rest of this done. And I think maybe we'll try the donut holes next. So I'm gonna be off camera for a second while I do this. Melting the butter and the maple syrup. So we got a little nice maple syrup. Get Canadian, buy Canadian. Don't get that Aunt Jemima stuff. It's terrible. It's corn syrup. Get the real, get something from a tree. Okay. So, I'm gonna stir that up. Okay. Alrighty, so that's done. Once the butter is melted, remove from heat and whisk in that confectioner's sugar, and that's it. Taste and add a pinch of salt. You would definitely add some salt. And the reason we're going to add salt is because that salty savory is, I mean, the whole point of this bad boy. So, we're going to have some confectioner's sugar. So, there's a whole heap of sugar in there. That's going to be fun. Set that aside. All right, looks good. Take it off the heat. This is my whisk. There we go. Okay. So we have the confectioner's sugar. We have our chicken. Set that over here for a second while it cools down. And then, all right. All right. So next thing we have to do is whisk in the sifted sugar. Do this to keep it from clumping up. It's going to kind of get melted in there. Oh yeah, get thick. Oh, Ed, you would love this stuff, man. Seriously. Oh, it smells so good. Okay. Oh, I can't forget my salt. I'm gonna stop halfway through. Add a little, maybe some kosher salt. Savory is better. All right. Go back to stirring. Ooh. Still. One hand too few. Oh, a little too much at once. Okay, look at that. That's pretty chunky. I actually, you know what? Because part of the fun is making it up as you go. Give it a try. You know, I think I'm gonna stop there. I'm not gonna add any more sugar. This tastes a little bit more like maple syrup right now, which I don't want to taste like a maple bar so much that I want it to taste like maple syrup. So I think that's good. I just want to get that granules down a little bit. Pour the rest of this back. Okay. Awesome. So. All right. Here we go. The magic time. Take this whisk. Get that out of the way. Get that out of the way. All right, now we do donut assembly. So here we have, shuffling deck chairs in the Titanic here. Okay, there we go. So we have our donuts, we have our goodies. So, and we have our chicken. So what we're going to do is I'm going to see a little bit of this. Okay. So take one of these donuts and then dip it right in there in our slurry, to use one of Pat's favorite words. Okay. Now, it's a little sticky, so I'm going to put some chicken on top. Like so. It's good. Sure, that's enough chicken. I have no idea. I've never put chicken on a pastry before, so who knows? I'll use a spoon to get all artsy fartsy here. Just gonna kind of drizzle that across. Probably this is not how a donut chef does it, I'm sure. But you know, what the hell? There you go. All right, one down. Now this stuff should thicken it up nicely, but with a little less sugar, it'll be a little less sweet, and the butter maybe will come through on the glaze, which will give it that true chicken vibe, or that true waffle vibe that we're looking for. Okay, this is the big boy here, so I'm gonna dip this guy rather generously in there. Ooh, there we go. Even out. Okay. All right, there we go. And then we'll put some chicken on top. Okay. Hold on there, man. It's a little slippery. Okay, here we go. Now it's starting to drip off the sides. That's okay, so a little bit on top. That's not the classic. This stuff isn't thin enough to do your like little fancy, you know, New York restaurant ribbon or whatever. That's okay. And now we have the beautiful waffle donut. Okay, dip this guy. Oh, not so pretty now, is he? Smear that down in the grooves just like you would on a good waffle. There we go. Yeah. Donut's still warm, so that should help with some of this, thin this out and let it run down the sides, because, I mean, honestly, who doesn't want a donut that has too little frosting? Nobody. All right. Come on. Just heck with it. All right, here we go. The waffler. Golden crispy. Bad guys are history. All righty. So, and I probably dated myself terribly with that joke. Let's get these guys on there. Beautiful. Look at all that chicken. And I've left some left for later, so I'm sure my dog will be thrilled. Alrighty. Okay. Encase that chicken in some more of the glaze. And we'll see how it does. Okay. Well, they ain't pretty, but I think they might actually taste pretty good. We'll see. Okay. Donut 1 down. The chicken and waffle. Wash my hands. All right. So let's get on to number 2. Alrighty, so I think it's time to try the donut holes. So these little guys, get that bad boy out of there. Guys, we can cook a little faster. And then these are going to be the ones that we dip in that chimay that I made. So they're nice and puffy. You can see they're nice little balls, look like little biscuits. I'm just going to throw, let's throw a handful in. Yeah, let's do 5. And then let Donut Cam 3000 watch the magic. Oh yeah, those are going hot now. Okay. All right. Ooh. Oh, they're puffing up big. Great. Okay, so now I need to get a paper bag. So I don't have a little paper bag that you would normally toss these in at the fair. So I'm going to use a takeout bag from yesterday and hope it works. Okay, I'll set that aside. Cook these bad boys up. I gotta turn them. They will have a top. So they're cooking up fast. That's good. They're risen and ready to go. We'll fish them out and do the next batch. Slotted spoon so I don't burn myself like an idiot, as I would probably do. So we're waiting for those guys to finish. Here's the chicken waffle donut. You can see it's kind of dripping and making a mess still. It hasn't quite cooled. It smells good. I'm really curious about these. Could be good, could be terrible. All right. These guys are looking pretty done, so I think they're about ready to come out. Let them drip dry for a second. Move the rack. Ooh. Okay. The next batch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in they go. Now you do want to periodically check your oil temperature and make sure it doesn't come down. These things are cooler than the oil. Oh, great. Okay. So while that's going, I'm going to see if I can actually just roll these donuts in the cinnamon sugar, these donut holes. Oh, look at that. I get them in there. Roll them around. Tap off the extra. Put over here. Oh, they smell great. Okay. There's nothing like cinnamon sugar. All right. I'm not doing all that many. This is going to be probably easier to do it by hand than use the bag, so I'll just skip that. That's home cooking, baby. Make it up as you go. All right. You know? I would still really like to try these with the pineapple batter. I was looking forward to that, but today was not gonna let it happen. So next time, the chimay smells amazing, and I think will be excellent on these donuts. So there we go. These guys are nice and covered. Tap off that extra. Hopefully they've settled. I'm gonna flip these bad boys. Oh, there we go. Oh, they're it's a little cooler now. They're not cooking quite as fast. That's okay. The other ones had the oil had warmed way up last time, so let it get hot in there. All right. Awesome. Okay. These balls didn't really hold together. I don't think that one will make a very good donut hole, so toss that one. Hold still. There we go. We got now it's just random shapes, the ends from the maple bars. So that'll be our last handful of little uglies. Okay. Ooh, hot. Slippery. Okay, flip those guys. Ah, there you go. It's looking more like it. Thought about deploying a corn baller here. I hear those things will get so hot. All right. Oh. Okay, here we go. Now we can see one of the donut holes. Beautiful, right? And that was super easy. Super duper easy. Kids, your family will think you're some sort of genius. Bust out donut holes like that. Okay. Good. Still feeling a little doughy. Some of these, this guy here. Toasted on one side, a little doughy on the other. Yeah, come on, flip over. It's like one too many in that basket. Give him a couple more. Give him another minute or so. Okay, that's probably good. Try. This is a handy little gizmo. Never deep fried anything, so I thought first thing I'd do is like stick my hand in there. End up looking like the Elephant Man on video, but it's turning out okay. I know. Don't count your. It's 2020. You can't count your. Whatever it is. Okay, so do that. And in go the little guys. No reason to throw away perfectly good donut dough when you can fry it into something else. Put that one back up. Even if you get little gnarly looking guys like this guy, that'll be perfectly good donut hole. While they're still hot, I'll put them in here and roll them around in the bowl. Get down to the wedges, put a little extra on. The oil will help them stick. The heat will also help. So when we did these in Boy Scouts, we did them on cut the lid off a can. And we had a little camp stove, made the dough, and the dough was simpler than this. I don't think it was a proofed dough. And then we just threw them in a paper bag and shook the hell out of them. I think they called them Hawaiian donuts at the time. I'm not sure why, but probably because they had something to do with Hawaii, but they were wonderful. That was the very first donut I ever made. I made donuts about 3 times since, but I thought they were like the greatest thing ever. Donut holes are a great little treat. So last one. No pink frosting or chocolate frosting on these, though. I'm going to leave that to the game design experts. Okay, cram a little extra down there. Looks pretty good. Okay, let that stick. All right, and that final donut hole is looking good. So we'll go ahead and get ready to dip these guys and see how they try them out. So, all right, let's check on these. See how they're coming along. Flip them over. They're doing okay. Actually, I'm not going to flip them quite yet. Another minute. And a nice brown color. All right. All right. So I'm going to try dipping one of these guys in here while these are still kind of warm. So this is the chimay. There's quite a bit of it here. I made a half batch. So dip it in there. This is something you use on fruit a lot, maybe with some tahini or something like that. It's a little, there we go. Put a little glob of that on there, like so. Didn't take all the cinnamon sugar off, so that's good. I'm gonna try a little bite. Oh wow, I like it. I like it a lot. That is tasty. I'm gonna see the nice texture in the middle and the drippy sauce with the chili flavor, which is not really strong. I didn't use the recipe I had called for apricots. I didn't have apricots, and I didn't want to make a huge batch, so I ended up using diced mango you can get from the store, which is my secret weapon when I make mango lassis and other things like that. It's just super easy. It comes in its own juice. So this one I just did a half batch. I used 2 cans of mangoes, and just cooked it all up in a pot for about 45 minutes with the couple ancho chilies. You just kind of boil it down and put it through the blender. Oh yeah, zest a lime in there and about half a lime, just squeeze it in there. Good stuff. Yeah, I haven't eaten all day, but that was a heck of a way to start. Okay, there we go. Cook, 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 cook. All right, these guys are gonna be done in a minute. And then we'll move on to our rings and the s'mores donut. The most technical. All right. Okay, so for the s'mores donut, I do have these sauces that have thickened up since I made them a little early. And they're gonna be a little hard to spread. So I'm gonna lightly warm them up. See how they do. Look at that bowl of thick syrup. Yeah, it's a little thick, so it's gonna be tough to get that sauce on them. And I want to definitely do the marshmallow fluff before I do the chocolate. So if I warm the chocolate up enough, I can maybe do the spoon trick with them and whip that around to a chocolate ribbon. Let's see. Looking pretty good. These are all smart, kind of silly looking donuts anyway, or small, silly looking donuts anyway, so it's pretty easy to fix. I think that old guy's probably done. Kind of donut nuggets. All right. My problem when I cook is I'm a fiddler. I always want to like look, peek, see how it's coming, what's it doing, da 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 da. Oh yeah, those will be good. Okay, cool. So, all right, I'm gonna let these donut holes sit together. All right, now put the oil back in there. Push these fellas out. Okay, there we go. Baby donuts. Let those guys cool off. We'll put a couple rings in here. All right, these are good. Just do one at a time. I don't want to do this 12 times over, so I'll probably start doing multiples, but let's go ahead. Let's do 2. I think I can swing that. One goes under the other a little bit. There we go. All right. Okay. So yeah, that's my donut nugget right there. Hot. This guy's done up. It's funny, I made these using the smallest cutter I had, thinking, oh yeah, heck, these will be tiny, you know, and they puff up. That oil is stinking hot, you know, it's 375 degrees at least. 350 to 375, I guess. And man, it cooks these things fast, makes that yeast just go crazy. Okay, here we go. Yeah. And on there, we got low on sugar. A little tougher to get these guys dressed up, but I'll manage. Okay. Excellent. I'm gonna flip those guys there. Come on, buddy. Get that last die. Come on, stick. Now this one is funny because I brown these a little bit more and the outsides aren't sticky enough to hold the remaining sugar. You have to kind of smash it in and then rub it on, and it falls right off again. That's okay. Those little silly ones are good for test bits. All right, flip this guy over. Yeah. 1, 2. Okay. All right, that is 1 full pan of donuts done. So I'll move these guys over a bit. I'll do the shimmy later. There's one more pan that I have around here somewhere. So I'm gonna need a spot for these guys to dry. Oh, there it is. Okay, new drying pan for our rings. Okay, you're doing okay here. So we'll do 2 at a time. I'll start warming up the sauce and get the next batch started. All right, there you go. Oh, look at that color. I want this oil to warm up a little bit more too. These guys are looking a little oily. If your oil's not hot enough, it'll soak into the batter. You don't want that. So let's fish that guy out of there. This basket's awfully small, so I'm not real keen on jamming my hand in there. Okay, that's good. Take the basket out for a second, let it come back up. Gonna heat up a little bit. Okay, so I'm gonna share a little trick I do with cooking. So sometimes you have sauces, things like that, you don't want to separate. You know that if you ever warm something with a lot of butter in it, it'll separate. The trick was actually to use a glass of water. So just get a little glass of water, you fill it with water, and you put it in there with whatever you want. So if you wanted a good example is when you have butter itself, you would need to warm up a stick of butter. You can put a glass of water in there with it, and then put the butter on a plate, and then run it for 30 seconds or sometimes even a minute. And that butter will soften, but the water will take most of the agitation. It'll keep the butter from separating. It's really, really useful little trick I learned. So I'm going to do this just to warm up that chocolate sauce so it'll be easier to spread on the donuts when I'm ready. Okay. Okay. Ring, ring a ding. Here we go. And they're starting up. Keep them separated. You don't want them to cook together. Then you have a bare spot on your donut. All right. Yeah, so see now that sauce went from being super thick. Kind of see it coming up the wall of the bowl. So that's just a super easy little trick, and it's still together. It didn't separate. Oh, that'll be good. Okay. So I'm gonna do the same thing for the vanilla, or the marshmallow fluff. Okay. I'm just doing 30 seconds in the microwave. That's enough. Make sure the donuts get all the way in there too. Otherwise they end up with a bare spot. Like I have these guys are kind of like acting like life preservers to each other, pushing one or the other up. There we go. Okay. All right. So let's see, our marshmallow fluff is now fluffy. It did not survive quite as well, but I had little chunks of butter in there that weren't actually ready, so I'm just going to reincorporate them. That's what I needed to do anyway. They just hadn't fully melted. Now, that's why you always use, when it says use butter at room temperature, make sure it's definitely room temperature, because otherwise it won't incorporate. And you end up with something like this. There we go. That's better. Drips. Little sugar pouring for all you guys. All right. All righty. It's getting hard. These are all actually turning out surprisingly well. I had certainly had lower expectations. Get in there. You doing, big guy? This one's like almost done. One's a little undercooked. This one's okay. Alrighty. So we'll do after I put the next ones in, we'll try dressing our first s'mores donuts. Stir it. All right, great. So deep frying is pretty fun, actually. If you keep your temperature right and you're not stupid, I think you can do so safely, which is always a tough one for me. A tall order. Let's go ahead and get those guys started. Get that lid back on there, get that back up to temperature. Okay, so my plan, the s'mores donuts, I actually borrowed half this recipe from Chow Hound Flagg, which is a Hanukkah donut or an Israeli donut. They're like little guys that are sometimes filled with different things. They have a lot of really good recipes for that. So, so I borrowed this parts of this recipe with it. So what I've got here is I've got a marshmallow fluff with cream cheese and sugar and vanilla, and of course marshmallow fluff. And then I have a chocolate sauce that is just made with dark chocolate and butter and powdered sugar, and I think that's pretty much it. It's pretty dark because we only had special dark chocolate, so it'll be really dark. And then we have the graham cracker crumbles that I set aside elsewhere. Okay, so I think this will be about speed more than anything else. So I'm going to go ahead and take this donut and dip it into the marshmallow fluff sauce. Get it in there. Yeah, look at that. Looks like a real donut. And then set it on the rack. do it for all these guys. I don't think there's any reason to go light on this stuff. This is the marshmallow flavor is the dominant flavor in a s'more. So I want it to be a dominant flavor in our donut as well. Okay. I already like the look of these things. Okay, dip it in there, get it down in the hole. Maybe not all the way in the bottom. You want a clean spot, but here we go. All right, so that's going to settle on top. You know, that's supposed to be a filling, by the way, so we'll see if it stays on top. Actually, quite enjoy cooking donuts now that I'm doing it, because I love cooking. You have to be busy the whole time. I don't like just standing around waiting for stuff to happen. I'd rather be doing it. I'm going to give a little extra. Notice these guys are a little bit light. There's some bare spots, and we cannot leave a single surface of this donut uncovered with the goodies. Okay, so got them all here. Now I'm going to do the same thing. Now I'm going to take my crumbles. I'm going to sprinkle them across while this stuff's still warm. I see that definitely these are small enough that we probably want small pieces. So I'll probably crush these up a little bit more. I mean, you probably even use crumbs here. I have a problem with some of the chunks are getting stuck in the hole, but like even some small piece, like really like dust almost might be doable. Not quite the voodoo thing, but I could probably make my life a lot easier by just taking these guys, crushing this to more of an even size, and then dipping them in it. But where's the fun in that? I'm making them pretty ugly though. I'll probably try breaking these pieces back down. Like that. I swear to God, if I worked in a donut place, it would weigh about 500 pounds. Too many, like, oh, I'll just lick my fingers. Okay. I'm going to be a little less. I got more graham crackers than I have time, so I'm going to go ahead and just get the Grammy chunks on there. Okay. That looks good. It looks even. I'll try dipping the next batch, see what happens. I love to make graham cracker crusts, so my impulse is always to crush stuff up as small as possible when it comes to graham crackers. Okay, what are we doing here, guys? Yeah, that's looking pretty good. That one's definitely done. Well, a little singy. And this one is always like the one that keeps high pointing on the other. I just pull it out. I think it'll be fine. Nobody's going to get sick off this dough. Alrighty. Here you go. All right. So we have some. Then I'll catch these other two up. I mean, I guess respectable cooks would be more likely to put this in a plastic bag and go over with a roller, but I mean, who has the time? There we go. That looks good. Nice and chunky. Okay, so we're going to try dipping this batch. So I'll take this little guy here, dip him in the marshmallow and fluff. Get that down in the middle. Very good. Nice and judicious. Just about halfway. And then take it and dip it straight in that. Oh, yeah, there you go. That works pretty well. Saves me a lot of time and looks better. And there's no better chef's recipe than that. Ooh, This one's still very hot. I probably should have waited. Let's get in, grab that. There we go. Ooh, looking good. All right, now this stuff is kind of set back up again, but you little ribbon. Ooh, that looks nice. Way better looking than I thought it would be. That's another thing that's kind of fun about making donuts. You can do something that looks nice, tastes good, and also makes a big old mess in your kitchen. This chocolate mix is like black, so it's going to be interesting to see what people think, because we generally use dark chocolate in our s'mores. By the way, I don't go in for this like fancy dress your food up thing. I like to make things that look nice, but I'm much more of a short order cook than I am a chef. But I have to say, these things are damn pretty. Check these bad boys out. Oh, I better flip that. Flip those. Don't forget about why I'm here. Let's flip those donuts. Okay, there we go. So check this out. I'm gonna do some donut cam. All right, here we go. So these are the s'more donuts. Look at those guys. There you go. Buy me a shop. I know my second career. Maybe not a game publisher. All right, those look great. Very happy. Let's do the other ones. Now these chicken and waffles, there's the waffler. It's all right. Not quite what I had hoped, but not bad. You can see the chicken, but give it a whirl. And then there's the donut holes, and those are going to get dipped in the chamois. So that'll be one of the last things I do. I'm going to probably warm that stuff back up. Okay. There we go. Back to work. Okay. Need a little more chocolate on that first one, which I thought looked so good, but by the time I got to number 6, I was like, not so much. Nice. Okay. Check on these fellas, see how they're doing. Yeah, they're good. All right, we have 3 more to go. So I had my 12th donut was my test donut that I just made sure the oil was right. Okay. Alrighty, so while we're finishing that up, I guess I'll start dipping some of the holes. So I've got the chamois. The chamois is also pretty, or chamois, and it's also pretty thick, like everything else. It's just trying to, still hanging off my finger. So I'm gonna warm that up. Give that a stir. We'll probably warm it up again. That'll make the dipping part a lot better. It'll be less likely to take all the goodies off the top of the donut holes. And then we will go to the taste test. So I've got my chefs, or my taste testers are on station. Try these guys out. All right. bowl that size, you've got to do a minute on it apparently. Okay, that fixed in a minute. Check our donuts here. And the oil's cooling down. These are taking longer to cook. All right, so while I'm waiting for that, which is done, get the next donuts done. Let's get these guys in there. Blah. Nice and sticky icky. Into graham crackers. There you go. I'm getting to the even grind now. And then to the chocolate sauce. Fast, okay. Dip. Dip again. Chocolate. Okay. Looking good. Chimay is now warm enough. Oh yeah, much easier to stir. Check on those donuts. Nice and smooth. Let's flip these guys. Make sure they're cooked on both sides. Great. Now, Chimay dipping. So I'm going to be lazy, even though I have way more Chimay than I need. I'm just going to go ahead and take the donuts and dip them. Like that. Straight in, straight up. Try not to stir them. Just get your cinnamon sugar everywhere, which isn't always a bad thing. Oh, okay. This guy will be pure Chimay. I forgot to put some cinnamon sugar on one. It's okay. It'll be extra Chimay. Just made in Chimay. Okay. We get a little high riding donut here. It needs to come out. All right. About half done. So yeah, my donut cookery is not, I would not say is the best. I tend to go for a little darker, but I'm just concerned about them cooking all the way through. All right. Okay, dip. Dip, dip, dip. Dip. I think I'm going to leave the rest as plain because my kids are purists. They're still in the, I want everything to be vanilla stage. So I figure if I want them to eat any of these things, I don't want to put on 5,000 calories myself, I probably need to have something they will eat as well. All right. Dump it in there like so. Into the graham cracker dust onto the rack. Whew, that guy's hot. Yikes. All right. I'll say hosting a live or semi-live stream of cooking, let you appreciate how much pregame goes in any cooking show. Because holy cow, do you have to do a lot of work ahead of time to get everything going. And just to have the food ready to go. You know, everything's, especially when dough is rising, and to kind of be prepared. And then you can't be prepared for like today where we had our problems getting started and getting YouTube to actually stream, and what a mess. But like even then, just I used that extra time. I was cooking the whole time, still had stuff to do before I was completely ready to go. All right, so I have a new appreciation for even Guy Fieri. All right. Can you get Mom? It's about time to taste test. About that though. Sorry. Talking about the infamous taste test time. All right, there we go. That's better. All right. So we can see now that the s'mores donuts are nearly done. Pretty good. They look great. I'm hoping they taste good.
Ooh, that smells so bad.
Oh, thank you, Sam. I'm glad you like it. You don't have to try anything if you don't want to.
I do want to see how it tastes.
Coming in and telling me how everything smells bad is not a nice way. I'm on camera right now, so I'd like you to go ahead and go somewhere else you're not going to call me, okay? So, that was commentary from my 6-year-old. He's a Mr. Positive. All right. I'm sure he's smelling the oil, which doesn't smell great. Hot vegetable oil is not the sweetest smelling thing. All right. So, show you what the chimay dipped donut holes look like. You can see you've got the chimay on top and the cinnamon sugar on bottom. Very nice looking. Very happy with them actually. Okay. How's our donut here doing? This one's almost done. Okay. Cool. Everything's still gonna, yeah, okay, everything's thin enough to still flow to the donuts. To rewarm anything. Alrighty. Okay, this last donut, I'm pulling it out and let it cool off for a second. I'm gonna go get my taste testers. Go get Mom. Go get them now. Whatever, just go get them. Thank you. Miscommunication about what responsibilities were. All right, so taste testers are coming down. We can turn off our donut cooker, cover it up so nobody gets incinerated by it, and about ready for taste test. I'm gonna wash my hands. We're ready. Okay, so I'll dip this last donut, and then we'll work on our plating. All right, so last one, batch, dip, marshmallow, a little more in there. Probably use marshmallow fluff. I thinned this out, although I have to say the cream cheese, I really like cream cheese mixed in these toppings. It does add a nice body and flavor to it. Okay, there we go. Just get a little more. Crumble. Then, Okay. Ta-ta! Alrighty. So, I'm going to go ahead. Try these guys out. So plating, I'm not going to do anything super fancy.
Hey, Dad, you ready to taste a donut?
You ready to taste test a donut? Oh, just in time, buddy.
Yeah.
Okay.
This was about to tell Mom.
He was about to tell Mom, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me get my knife. All right. So here we go. We have, pull this up here. All right. You can see Huey. He's our taste tester. You want to wave to the camera? Say hi. There you go.
Hi.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So we're going to pull out the drawer, buddy, so I can cut this. Okay. All right. I'm going to try these guys out. Oh, where are you going?
Oh, there's a lot of donuts.
That's right. Dad had to make big batches. So, here you go, buddy. Now, come over here. I have to see your face. All right, so here, you can, you want me to feed you? Why don't you take it?
Yeah.
This is a s'mores donut. Sam, you want to try it? Come over here. No, you got to stand up. That's my rule. Okay. It's chocolate and graham crackers and marshmallow donut. Here. Ah! What do you think? Thumbs up? Huey, what about you? Thumbs up? All right, thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. Now, you want to try the next one?
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is a donut hole with a mango sauce on top. Okay. You take that.
I'm gonna try the next one.
Huh? Here you go. You got it. No, you're gonna have to hold this one. It's gonna be more than one bite.
Okay.
I'm gonna put cinnamon sugar on the outside.
Mmm.
Good.
Hey, that might hurt my finger sore.
Well, okay. Okay. Right.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I
Well,
love it.
good taste. Good taste. Okay. Great. Wow. 2 for 2. 2 for 2. All right.
I love it.
You love it. You love it. Do you love it exactly as much as Sam?
Mm.
Okay. Now, guys, this is the weird one. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
This one is called chicken and waffles.
Yum.
Do you not want to try it?
I do. Yum.
Of course you want to try it. Okay. Okay. Let's give it a shot. Okay, buddy. So here, Sam, step over this way a little bit. No, you step no this way.
Forward.
There you go. One bite. Okay. Now try it. Thumbs up. Oh my gosh. Huey, come here. Try this one out. Oh, okay. Try it. Finish your bite first. Okay.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's strange, right?
Pretty good.
Oh, you still got. Oh, you got a full mouth. Okay.
Pretty good.
We really like that donut hole. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Give it a whirl. Oh, you're gonna take all the topping off first bite. What do you think?
Yum.
Yum? Okay.
Yum.
I haven't even tried these yet, so come over here. I need an adult opinion. Guys, and we'll have more donuts later, okay? Thank you, boys. You can finish up your bite, and then you can take it with you, okay?
I don't trust the kids' opinion.
Okay, so we have the chicken and waffle. We have the no, it's the mango chamoy or chamay. I keep mispronouncing it. And then we have
Mango.
right. So I use the regular yeast for the
Mm.
yeah and then these are just regular cinnamon. I just dusted them and then
Mm.
yeah.
No, it's good.
Okay. Then we have the s'mores. The s'mores is good. Like it's really good. Look at how pretty it is.
It is beautiful. But I don't like s'mores in real life, so why would I like a donut?
Just try it.
Okay.
See if you like it better than a real s'more. How about that? All right. And then we have the chicken and waffle. I did a waffle
you,
cut of a
I
chicken.
will I'm gonna do chicken waffle first, cause
Okay. Just take a bite of it.
okay.
I cut it for the kids because they can fit in their mouth. They try to swallow it whole. Gotta try this thing out.
I thought the idea of that one was disgusting, but it actually tastes okay.
Yeah, the chicken's real mild.
I don't think I'd want it again,
It's kind of like just a
but it's
glazed.
perfectly edible.
Yeah, it's kind of a glazed donut with a little of a maple taste, and then
Definitely.
chicken's very mild. So even this donut tastes like chicken. Go for this more. Look at it. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Hey guys.
Well, we're gonna finish up here, buddy.
Oh, yeah. That was pretty good. Wow, I did not think this would work out well at all, but it did.
Yeah, thank you for telling the world that your belief in your husband's.
I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one out there who thought this was going to end up with the kitchen on fire.
So. That's good. Yeah. I like it.
Hey Dad. Well,
so that's good. That's the marshmallow and the chocolate are both pretty mellow.
I never have tasted. I want to find out what taste this one
After.
has.
Yeah, go ahead and sorry. He wants to try one of the plain donut holes. Okay. Yeah. The chocolate and vanilla is really good. It's not super. The chocolate and marshmallow, really good. The graham cracker is very balanced. It's quite good. And then I knew I'd like these donut holes because I'm a sucker for the cinnamon sugar donut holes. So. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's what I expected. Cinnamon sugar doesn't come out quite as I hoped. I think that if I did it with the original plan and used a mix in the dough using the pineapples I had planned to do, that would really set off against the chimay very well. But the chimay itself is delicious. Having not heard of it before, suggested, I had to look it up. Yeah, it's great, and I imagine that would be very good. And I can never remember the little Texan favorite little donut holes. They're like jam donuts. They're a Czech donut, but anyway, they're really good. But yeah, you just putting a dollop of jam in those, or filling a jam donut would be really good too. So yeah, well, frankly, I'm pretty impressed. Not at myself, but just that these didn't go off the rails, and that people had really good suggestions. So, well, I think next time we will get our streaming issues resolved in the next couple weeks, and we'll try it again. So I look forward to having your challenges and seeing what we can make next time.